Hello everyone. So I'm getting ready to go in the gym. I'm gonna try to do some yoga, but I don't think I'm gonna get much done. Anyway, I was thinking about something that has bothered me for a very long time. And it's the term white supremacy. I don't like that term because it seems to imply that at some point or somehow that white is superior to everyone else, when in reality, I really feel like white supremacy is just a mask for white mediocrity, or rather white inferiority. And I say this because white people around the world have gone out of their way to use violence and to use cheating, to put systems in place to deny people who are not white and who are women the opportunity to compete in an equitable space. And this has been happening for decades, you would even say centuries, because and they know that if things become equitable, that they can't win. And I'll give you some examples. I'm going to give you an example rather. When we think about decades ago, the top athletes of the time were all white because they would not allow non-white athletes to compete. Therefore, they were cheating. They would not allow other people in to compete. So therefore, they were the top athletes. So they could keep this lie going that they were the top athletes. And the thing is, back then, if you were an athlete, you were considered smart. However, when people fought for equal rights and to be able to compete, when Black people started to compete in these athletic competitions, Black people started winning because suddenly they had the opportunity. So they weren't pushed out for whatever cheating reason they came up with why Black people couldn't compete. But when we start to get in there, you notice the color of the top athletes around the world change. There's also when you notice that the stereotype of the dumb athlete comes into play, because you can't be smart anymore. If you're an athlete, you have to be dumb. Anyway, next thing. When you think about football, basketball, tennis, how long those competitions kept Black people out from competing, and now Black people are dominating those particular sports. This has been going on forever, because when it comes down to it, white supremacy is a system to prevent people who are not white from being able to access the same things. Because when people who aren't white are able to actually access whatever it is in an equitable place, white people don't come out on top. And this has been going on for centuries. And this is why white people fight so hard to keep white supremacy in place, because they know that they are not superior. Even though a lot of them will say that, we are born superior. A lot of people believe that. And I think that that's funny, because even science says this is not true. And I'll give two examples of that. First example, Henrietta Lacks. All of the cell, theories and all of the cell experiments, all of the research is based on a Black woman's stem cells. Her cells. Not a man, not a white man, but a Black woman. This is all the medical research, all of the things that have happened are because they couldn't keep these cells alive if it wasn't for her. It's her cells that stayed alive. That's one. And they didn't pay her. They stole her cells. Second example. I didn't even know this until I went into early labor with my daughter. At the time, I had to take the shot to make her lungs develop. It was very scary, and I was terrified. I was in the hospital, completely terrified. And the nurse, it was a Black nurse, who kind of was like, don't worry about it. Black girls, they have the highest rate of survival when they're born premature. I was like, you know, at the time, like, I was like, what? You know, it was kind of comforting, but it stuck with me. So I went and looked it up. And yes, it's true. When it comes to premature babies, girls survive at a higher rate than boys. So every time they say boys or men are the stronger sex, remember this fact, that when babies are born premature, girls have the higher survival rate. But when you break it down by race, the highest rate of survival, so we're just talking about strong genetically, the highest rate of survival for preemie babies is black girls. It goes black girls, black boys, white boys. I'm just giving you some information because every time I think about the term white supremacy, these things pop into my mind. It's not white supremacy. In fact, we should rename that term white inferiority. And that's what they're upset about. Anyway, those are my thoughts for today. Enjoy. I hope. I don't know how well this video is going to do, but, you know, I'm sharing my thoughts. And, yeah, like, comment, and subscribe. And peace, guys.